Hello everyone. So the next topic is about the photoperiodism. So in these slides we will be discussing about how was the term photoperiodism come into the picture. It must basically the history of the photoperiodism. Then what are the types of photoperiodism? Then their types will be in more detail in these slides. So let's get started with the first slide about the history of the plant, about the history of the photoperiodism. So in 1920, W. Garner and H.A. Allard from the US Department of Agriculture, they discovered a mutation in tobacco, a variety which was called as Maryland mammoth, that prevented the plant from flowering in the summer as normal tobacco plants do. So he was this. They were the scientists in 1920 from the Agriculture Department of the U.S. They discovered this mutation in the tobacco plant, that there was no flowering in the they basically the plant, the Maryland mammoth, prevented the plant from flowering in the summer. So the normal plants, the normal tobacco plants, they flower in the summer. But in case of Maryland mammoth, it was not seen in this case. There was some mutation in the tobacco plants. So when they were experimenting with this artificial lightning in winter and artificial darkening in summer, they found Maryland mammoth was affected by photoperiod. So in that case, they came across the term photoperiod. That is, there was an artificial darkening experiment and artificial lightning experiment. Artificial lightning experiment was done in the winters and artificial darkening experiment was done in summer on the same Maryland mammoth plant, which was a tobacco plant, which basically a variety of tobacco plant where a mutation was found in the where a mutation was found. So they came across the term photoperiod. So there were psychological events such as initiation of the flowering, seed germination, asexual reproduction, and the onset of dormancy in plants that are triggered by photoperiod of certain length. So this specific photoperiod length is called as critical day length or critical photoperiod. So they call this as a critical day length or critical photoperiod. Then the types of critical photoperiod. So they describe this term as critical photoperiod. Then critical photoperiods, basically the plants can be characterized into three categories, that is long day plants, short day plants, and day neutral plants. So in response to critical periods, these are categorized into three main categories, that is long day plants, short day plants, and day neutral plants. So first we will be discussing long day plants, and we will be discussing all these in detail in these slides only. Long day plants. So what are long day plants? How were they named as long day plants? Because the flower only when the day is length is longer than the critical day. So when there is a more sunlight in the day, for example in summers, the days are long. So the sunlight is more for the day. So the day length is longer than the critical day. So the flower only when the day length is longer. So length or their flowering is accelerated by the longer day length. For example, the examples of long day plants are spinach, spring barley, and wheat. So these are also categorized into two parts, that is qualitative and quantitative. Qualitative is basically flowering only in long day in length, and flowering is accelerated by long days. So there are two types, which is qualitative and quantitative. Qualitative is basically, what is qualitative? When they flower in long day, basically when the day is long and for example when the day is long, the sunlight will be more, then they flower, that is called as qualitative. And quantitative, basically the flowering is accelerated by long days. So flowering is accelerated by longer number of days, then it is known as quantitative. So this was about the long day plants. The example are spinach, spring barley, and the wheat. Then the short day plants. Plants which flower when the day length is less than the critical day length, or their flowering is accelerated by shorter day length. So in long day plants, the length of the day was longer than the critical day, but in the short day plants, the day length is less than the critical day, or the flowering is accelerated by the shorter day length. So the examples of this is basically tobacco and the soya bean. Tobacco and soya bean are the examples of short day plants. So the short day plants can also be categorized as two parts, such as the long days plant can be categorized into two parts, that is qualitative and quantitative. So as the short day plants. So short day plants can also be categorized as quantitative and qualitative. So what is qualitative here? Same as in the long day plants, flowering only in the short day length, and in quantitative, flowering is accelerated by the short days. So this was about the qualitative and quantitative, the two categories that is being divided by the short day plants. So the examples of short day plants, if someone asks you the example, then it will be tobacco and the soya bean. Then day neutral plants. Day length in different plants. So it can be any day. It can be the length of the day can be short, or the length of the day can be long than the critical day. It is a neutral basically. The day length in different plants. So some plants show no response to day length and described as a day neutral plants. So some of the plants do not show any response to the day length. For example, if there is a long day length, then the flowering will be more, or when there is a short day length, that flowering will be less or something like that. But they do not show any response to this. So this is described as a day neutral plants. So they are described as the day neutral plants. Then long day short plant and short day plants, they require long day followed by short day, and short long day plant basically requires short day followed by long day. So when there is the long short day plant, they require long day and it is followed by short day, and short long day, when the short comes first, they require the short day which is followed by long day, and when the long come first, then they require the long which is followed by the short day plants. So this was all about the photoperiodism, that what are the categories, how they are divided, what are the plants, what are the type of plants, then what are the day neutral plants. So this was all about this, and these are some of the references from where I have taken the matter and explained you the slides. Thank you.